What is up, guys? FallenRedZeo here, back with another My Morphin Collection episode. This time we've got the Power Rangers Legacy Collection, the Dino Thunder set. So this is pretty cool. I finally was able to finish this Yellow Ranger's the last one that I had to wait on, and finally got it. And so now we have it complete. And as you can see, and if you've seen the other sets, obviously you get multiple Rangers. We have 5 Rangers in this case, and we get all the different, characters from the show and stuff, and then we got a Build-A-Megazord piece here that builds the Thundersaurus Megazord here, as you can see it there. So each of these come with pieces to build it together, so it's like a Build-A-Figure there at the end. So it's cool to see. So we've got, of course, the Red Ranger in the front, the blue, and the yellow there again, which was the one I had to wait a long time to get and everything. And then we also have back behind them, we have the Black Ranger and the White Ranger here, which of course we got Tommy, he's back again, and then the White Ranger, which is in like the newer box, which of course is probably gonna be the last set of like figures, at least from Bandai, that I'll be getting, since I'm not getting the Psycho Rangers and stuff. So this will be the last one, but this is the newer boxes they went with. And I don't know why the Yellow Ranger, since she was the last one, at least by everything I could find, she was the one of the last ones to come out. I don't know why it took longer, and she's not in the box, very similar to the White Ranger. I don't really know about that, but I'm sure they probably designed like these 3 together and then added onto it at the end and everything. But this looks super cool, so we're gonna of course open them, check out their Rangers, their accessories, and then do the Build-A-Megazord at the very end. So let's go ahead and get into it. And first up here we have the Red Ranger, which was Connor in the show, and he has the Tyrannosaurus, if I can spit out the names. So the T-Rex was his Zord, which kind of fits in obviously with the original Power Rangers, and the red, being the T-Rex and everything. So the colors kind of fit along, I guess, until you get to the yellow, I guess. But anyways, well, let's look at it. So here's the look at the helmet there. Again, it's supposed to, invoke kind of like a T-Rex. So we've got the visor here with the white around. It's supposed to be like the T shape, and then the eyes there of what would be the T-Rex. So there's that design there. Other than that, it's pretty plain helmet. Like, there's not much design. There's like a piece around here of the mouth, and then a few little carved in designs which you can barely see all along in there, but other than that, it's just a plain flat red helmet, so kind of boring there. Then going into the suit, we have of course all red, and then I like these the designs of these suits because of the white, again, like diamond patterns or like stuff to it. They look kind of, like spikes or like blades and stuff of dinosaurs and everything, so I like that design added into it, besides just being all simple, just plain red suit and everything. So I like the designs, as you can see, all the way down on the arms there. We have the logo on the chest there, which of course is the Dino Thunder logo, which looks like a foot of a dinosaur or something there, 3-toed dinosaur with a spike on the back and stuff. But there with the power, what would be like the power coin there on his chest and everything. We've got a belt, and then of course the leg with the same designs there. We do have like gold all around him, so he's got the gold bracelets designs there, one around the neck, and then of course around the top of its boots there as well, the gold bar there. They just got plain red boots, nothing too special design about that. Again, the gold belt with the silver buckle, and that's pretty much it besides the morpher. So as the Dino morpher there for the T-Rex, which you can kind of somewhat see the design there of it. The morph, which I think they may all be the same. I haven't seen Dino Thunder in so long I don't remember, but that one at least definitely looks like a T-Rex head there. So there's the morpher for that. And then we have, of course, articulation, so the head can move and twist around everything. Shoulders can move, pretty far, that high up and everything. Of course, twist all the way around. It's got a bicep twist, a double elbow joint, which you can see there, which that's the thing. These are the Bandai figures, so they move a lot, have a lot of articulation. Hand joint there that spins around, and you can see the white ball. I kind of don't like that, but it's not too bad. It allows for, more hand movements and everything. But we got a grip fist there. So yeah, just a lot of movement, easily like to move around and stuff. So pretty limber and stuff as they go. It does have an ab crunch, as you can see there. Twist right at the waist. Then we have, of course, a couple hip joints in here, so hip can obviously kick out forward, that far backwards, out to the side and everything. Then it does have the thigh twist right at the hip as well, so you can kind of get adjusted. Again, I don't like the gap and spacing that they leave in between there, but that's kind of what they have to do to get the movements and everything. Double knee joint there, and then the foot can twist around, can twist all the way around and flex side to side, back and forth, of course. So a lot of articulation. It's hard because of that to get the characters to stand up, like to get them in position, and they get them looking like straight up, because they always like lean or something. But takes a while to get them into position, but once you do, I think they look good. And of course, with all the movements, they're highly posable, so you can get them to do all sorts of cool, their poses and everything. But then you also have the issue of when like standing up, their joints are weak, and so they easily just like fall over. So that's the one bad thing. So I'm excited to see what Hasbro does with it, with like the Lightning collection that they're doing and the 6-inch and stuff, to see, you know, hopefully they'll be a little better. Of course, they make Marvel Legends, which I have issues with Marvel Legends, as you've seen if you watched the videos on the channel and stuff. So hopefully they'll be better, but I'm not really like holding my breath for that because I can't really trust them or anything. But there's the Red Ranger. For accessories, it does come, of course, with the Thundermax blaster, which then turns into a saber and stuff with the blade there. So it has the gun again. Cool that they all come with it. I wish they would have came with like their actual weapons, you know, like the sword and everything for him. But they just have this weapon that they all hold. Then it has a holster as well that goes on the side. It's got a hole there on the belt that you just press it into there. And then I assume, obviously, with most guns, the handle goes back so you can grip onto it. And because of the blade there on the top, it just slides into it and it's like cut open, so it has the gap, and you just push it down in there like that to be able to hold the blaster and everything. And then for our Build-A-Megazord, it comes with the right arm with, of course, the tail of the T-Rex, which fits along, I mean the left arm, by the way, I said the wrong arm, which fits along with, of course, him, because it's the T-Rex or Tyrannosaurus, so it fits along with the tail coming off of that as one of the arms there and everything. So that's going to be it for the Red Ranger. And next up, we've got the Blue Ranger, which is Ethan from the show, and he is the Tricerazord, or Triceratops, as you would know it by. So as you can see, we already have some issues. We'll get into it as we get down. So he's got some standing issues, and I will point out why in a second. But first off, we got the helmet here. Of course, looks like a Triceratops, or trying to evoke the Triceratops design, similar to the original Blue Ranger. But we have, of course, the visor, and then the outline there with looks like teeth and stuff, which you know, Triceratops don't have those teeth. They have this point here at the front, but no points or any teeth there, so that's kind of weird. But then it does have the 3 horns, so the horn in the middle, and then the 2 horns off of the fin of the head, which you can see does kind of add the fan, or fin, whatever you want, I guess not fin, it is a fan, off the head there. So I like that they did throw that design into it there. Again, suit very similar. Of course, they'll all be pretty similar suits, but very similar to the red, just blue, obviously, instead. Still has all the white line stuff that I like, that adds the more detail into it. We have the logo there on the chest, the belts, of course, all the gold rings and everything, and of course the Dino Morpher there. And yeah, so it does look different. It may be hard to see, but it does actually look more like a Triceratops there. You can see the fan on the head, the mouth. It's got a horn sticking up at the top. So they are different for each character, which is cool that they did that. And again, going down the legs, same design with the blue and the white diamonds, and then the gold bars at the top, and then the feet. And here's where we get to the issues. So he's got some issues standing. One, you can see his leg is bent, probably from the packaging. It's bent inwards, which usually isn't that bad, and it's at least bent the proper way. It's not bent out, which would be worse. It's bent inward, which you can usually, you know, play around or move around to do it. But then we get to the other leg, which is, you know, straight leg and stuff. It's not bent or anything. But then we get to the foot and we have some issues. We have 2 right feet. I don't know if you can see that. So the part here that's like sticking out should be on the inside, similar to this foot, but it's not. So we have 2 right feet on the same person, and so his foot does not want to kind of like bend in or stand properly because of that, which I didn't think would be that much of an issue, but it's obviously proving to be quite an issue because I have issues getting him to stand. So that's kind of disappointing. Again, for movements, all the same as the Red Ranger, so we're not going to go all the way through that. But yeah, it's weird that it does have 2 left feet, which is the problem with collecting stuff. And when I'm trying to collect them all to do a video instead of doing them all right at the opening, I didn't know about that till now, so I may have issues getting a replacement. I already had to get a replacement with the last Zord, or last figures of these I did. The Zeo ones where the Gold Ranger had a leg that was completely put on sideways for some reason. So I don't know, from the knee down it was a completely turned sideways leg, so it'd be like this if you would turn it like that. But from the knee down it was like that, so I had to rebuy a new one of those. So yeah, just all sorts of fun issues. So I need a new Blue Ranger as well. So we got that. Then for accessories, does come with the holster and the Thundermax blaster as well, which we'll go ahead and push on to his side there again into the hole. So he's got that. And again, all these guns, the way they're packaged, the blade is kind of like bent and messed up. So unfortunately, that's just how it looks and everything. again, hopefully when they do weapons and stuff with Bandai or under Hasbro, they'll look better, you know, not just all plain and stuff, and then we won't have as many bent issues with them. And then, of course, for the Thundersaurus Megazord, we've got the right arm. Now we have the correct right arm there for, and it, of course, is the Tricerazord. I just want to say Triceratops there, which you can see. It's kind of cool. You can kind of see its little feet there. It would just been down there, and it's got the tail and stuff. So kind of fits in and looks pretty good to what the actual Zord looks like, but obviously it attaches to the arm of the Megazord for that, which again, I like how they kind of coordinated them to fit in along with there for that. So that's going to be it for the Blue Ranger. Next up is the Yellow Ranger, which is Kira, of course, and she has the Pterazord. Again, it's going to be hard to say. I always want to say pterodactyl and everything, but this is where we get a little different from the old. So this time she's the Yellow Ranger and not Pink Ranger with the pterodactyl, whatever. But it still is cool. I have no issues with that at all. So we'll look at the head here, of course. There we've got, again, it's kind of trying to look like a pterodactyl. Look at the visor there with the point, of course, from the mouth of the bird beak of the pterodactyl. Then it has the fin on the head and everything, very similar. Then the two little eyes. The eyes on these just make me laugh, just how tiny they are. They look so weird. I assume, obviously, that's how they looked in the show and everything, but they just look so funny to me, the way they're designed. Again, very similar outfit to the Red Ranger, Blue Ranger, but with yellow this time. So there we've got the arm. She does have different joints, so we'll look at her. But yellow, obviously, instead of red and black or blue, it's got same, you know, diamond designs and everything. But yellow obviously has the skirt because it's a female, so they had to throw that in there. For joints, you can see the arm is has a little bit different joints. I mean, same mechanics and everything, just different size. So again, with the female, they always make them super skinny, which usually has led to issues with the legs and feet. But this, they look like they have thickened them up a little bit. The arms still look skinny, but the legs do look thicker. So hopefully she will stand up a lot better than all the other Rangers in the past have the female ones. So there's a shoulder. You can see it obviously twist all the way around there, as you can see the diamond moving along and stuff, and you can see the joint there. So it moves pretty far. So she's got pretty good articulation, like pretty much as you could want on there. It does have a bicep twist there right at the below the shoulder, a single elbow joint there, as you can see, and then of course the same hand that can spin and twist around and everything. Small little hands though, so not as thick as the men, so gripping and stuff could be a little easier, but maybe weaker and stuff at the time. Ab crunch there, of course she twists around, no waist twist. This is their twist version on the female, so you can see right below her chest, and she's got the crunch and everything. And then you can see the men had the ab crunch that had the logo there that mixed into it, so as you moved it, you know, it stretched out the logo and stuff. This completely printed onto her chest there, so it doesn't move at all with that. So we got that. Got her, of course, Morpher on the hand, which again is supposed to look like a pterodactyl, which I do kind of see. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but I kind of do see it. I see like the eye, and then of course the fin of the head there, and then down to the beak. It's, like I said, kind of hard to see, but I can see what's supposed to be, of course, the belt and everything. Her skirt, as we mentioned, which is open for movements. Of course, it is limited though, so you can only move like that far to the side and the forward and backward. It has limitations, but you know, for what I do, I don't need to really move them that far. So it doesn't really matter. It does have the twist right at the, you know, pretty much right at the bottom of the skirt, a double knee joint, and then of course the foot does actually twist on this figure. Unlike the red and the blue, it did not, but this one actually does. And then of course the foot can twist and move all around and everything. And again, looks really cool. Hopefully, like, yeah, she stands up relatively easily. Like I said, usually it's always the females that I have issues with because of their small legs and stuff, so especially their ankle joints get weak and they just completely just fall over all the time. So she's so far not having issues. I mean, obviously it could be a while before that happens, but we never know. For accessories, we do have the Thundermax Blaster, so we'll put in with the holster onto her belt. So push into there. It looks like it doesn't go all the way in, probably because of the thinness of her and everything. So we got that. And then for the Thundersaurus Zord, we've got the main body part. So there, of course, we have the continuation of the Tyrannosaur there, and then the Pterazord there with the wings, and you can see its head there and everything. I do have this Zord in real life, which I will be doing a review eventually if I ever get my Zords out and continue to do Zord reviews on them. I do have this Megazord, which is really fun and cool. I really like it. So I'll have to get that out sometime to finish doing the videos on that, but there's of course the main body for it as well, and that's going to be it for the Yellow Ranger. Next up, of course, as you can see, is the Black Ranger, which of course is my favorite because it's Dr. Tommy Oliver, where we had Jason David returning to the show, reprising his role as Tommy Oliver, but this time, obviously, since time has passed, he has now become a doctor, and he's like a paleontologist and all that sort of stuff, studies dinosaurs, so it kind of fits along with it and everything, and I just absolutely love this. I love these next two Rangers so much, like their outfits and everything. They're just so awesome to me. So we'll start with the helmet. Of course, this is, you know, the Black Ranger, and he is the Brachiosaurus, so that kind of fits in with the helmet design there. So we got the visor here, which again looks like a bunch of teeth, which Brachiosauruses don't have teeth. If they do, they're just, you know, like grinding teeth and not sharp points like that, so it kind of doesn't fit in with that design, but it does have the head point here, which of course Brachiosauruses, which if you know, do have the head point up at the top of their head, which Brachiosauruses are one of my favorite dinosaurs, so this makes me, you know, it's like combining all my favorite things into one, and so that's really cool. I like that whole design there with the hole and everything. It does have little tiny purple eyes. I don't know if you can see those there, little purple eyes, which is funny. Again, the eyes are just silly to me, but they are on there, and I like the head design instead of the perfectly round shape. It's got like more of a Darth Vader type design to it, where it flares out there at the end, which looks cool. Then we've got the costume, again very similar to the others. This time it's got the gold diamonds instead of white, and again they have like a kind of like an outline, so the diamond with an outline of another gold diamond around it, which again looks super cool. I like the shoulder pads here, very reminiscent of, like, of course, Green and White Ranger, where it had like the shoulder pad designs and stuff, again in the gold and black, which fits perfectly with him. He does have the Brachiomorpher there, which again has the Brachiosaurus head, which you can really see like the mouth and face there, the point on top of its head, the eye and everything. Fits perfectly. I love that so much. Same design going down the legs. Of course, there's the belt and everything, and the feet design as well into the black boots. So again, nothing more really to look at. Obviously, with the shoulder pads, we do have articulation blockage there, so the shoulders can't go up very far, and, you know, forwards and backwards and stuff. But other than that, he is exactly the same. Again, same with the logo there on the chest and all that. As you can see there, again, super awesome. I love this figure. That's probably one of my favorite figures. And again, because it makes so much of my favorite things into one, of Tommy, Power Rangers, Brachiosauruses, all sorts of fun stuff. Then for accessories, we do have the Brachio staff here, which you can see in the holster that I already put in. So it's a sword there. It's got the Brachiosaurus head, as you can see on there. I like how it's like a fanned out version there. It looks almost like a seahorse or something, but you do the neck, and of course continuation with the design of the gold and the black, which looks really cool. Again, not as highly detailed and painted. I believe like on the boxes and stuff they show a lot more detail, but obviously they're not in there. Then it's got the gold actual blade of the sword, or I assume since it's called a staff that it would turn into a staff as well. Again, I haven't watched Dino Thunder in so long, I don't remember all of the details of it, but there we put the holster on, and then I assume we'll just stick the Brachio staff there into the side there like that, and again looks really cool. And for the Thundersaurus Megazord, we do have the foot here. It's the right foot, I believe, there for that, and so we'll look at that in a little bit, obviously. And that's going to be it for the Black Ranger. And at last, we have the White Ranger, which was Trent in the show, and he has what was called like the Dragozord. Again, I don't know the whole connection there besides dragon, possibly, or Drago being like dragon, but it was more like a giant pterodactyl pteranodon, some sort of flying reptile bird from the dinosaurs and everything. So again, I don't know exactly what his Zord is supposed to be or anything. So here, this looks so, like, just look how cool this is. Like, think if like Tommy wore this back as the White Ranger, it would be like so cool. Oh, that just looks awesome. So we'll take a look at his head there. There, of course, we've got the face again. Not really seeing designs of like a bird dinosaur. We do have the fin there with the eyes. Looks kind of like a Tapajara or Tapahara head, which is, you know, like a dinosaur bird with the little tiny red eyes there, but it's got the fin on it. So maybe it's something more like that. Again, I didn't look it up to see exactly what it was supposed to be. It just looks like a pterodactyl. Again, I have the Zord for it, so again, it just looks exactly like a pterodactyl, just a giant white one. But I don't really know for sure, but I'm sure someone will let me know, but I'll have looked it up by then anyways. Then going down, we do have a chest piece on here. So there we got this big white chest piece. You can see on the back, it looks like it should have been continued on with the painting. It's got the designs and stuff, but they only painted the front with the black lines there. So that's cool. Nice big chest piece on there. Then underneath, he's got a white costume with a bunch of black on the so on the insides here, down the side of his body, he's got the black, and again, it's all kind of like ripped or tapered design designs there with the triangle shapes and stuff to look very menacing. Oh, this just looks so cool. But for the arm stuff, we have your pretty much similar articulation to back with the Red Ranger and everything, but obviously again with the chest plate and or whatever shield they would probably call it, kind of blocks some of the movement, so it can't move all the way around, but it's still got all the same movements as you can see with all the joints and stuff. Again, the joint there, it is got a little bit of dirty, there's some gold or something moved over to the white there, which you have issues with white and stuff, so it's not really surprising. There we've got the morpher for it on its arm. Of course, the Dragomorpher there, as you can see some of the head design and stuff of the actual dinosaur, whatever it's supposed to be modeled after. It does have the gold belt, which again breaks up some of the design of the black and the white. Adding the gold in there looks really cool, but it has a different belt design there. I don't know, looks just kind of like a weird shape or like a circle or something. Yeah, that design there, but I like the outline around it. Stuff looks like a really like cool looking belt buckle type design, such as plain square or anything. Then movements, of course, for the legs, same as the past Rangers, nothing new there. Again, just the black and white. Continue on until we get to the all white boots, which again looks cool with the gold band around. Looks like, you know, kind of like a cowboy boot design. So I like that a lot. The design there with that, this just figure just looks so cool. And I don't know if it's because like if it's like the last figure, so more recent, it just seems to be designed a little better. Still continuation, very similar to the others, but it just seems to be a little bit better overall. For accessories, we have the Dragozord, which again, it's supposed to be designed very similar to, there's the head of the dinosaur there. Supposed to be the handle, and then obviously the blade. On the picture on the box, it does show all these painted gold, all these lines here, which obviously on this, they're just left white. It's got the gold there, so I feel it'd be cool if they would have continued it on, but obviously they didn't. Then we have the holster for it, which goes on the opposite side from all the other Rangers, similar to the Black Ranger, but the holster in there, and then I just stick the thing in there. I feel it should be pointing forward, but usually then the blade would be backwards, and I just feel you always have the blade facing the way it currently is. But again, that just looks so cool right there. And then of course we got our last piece for the Thundersaurus Megazord, and we have the left foot there. So we got all the pieces for that to build, and that's gonna be it for the White Ranger. We now have all the pieces here to build the Thundersaurus Megazord, so let's go ahead and put it together. And here it is, the Thundersaurus Megazord. And again, this looks super cool. I like the figure design a lot. Of course, I have issues with these being the Build-A-Figures, the way they design them. Having issues, of course, as usual with this set of standing up and everything, but it looks cool. The only issue I ever have with this Zord is that there's way too much red on it, because of course you only have 3 Rangers, so their Zords, you know, have to combine into one big, where usually you have 5, and so the biggest part of it is the Tyrannosaur, which is the T-Rex. So you have the legs of it, the head, and the tail and stuff, and then you only have the little part of the Pterosaur and the Tricerazord. So unfortunately that's just how, like, you know, shapes out or whatever, but I wish it could have more. So looking at, we've got the head up here, of course, the head of the Zord there. I believe this would be part of the Pterosaur, I would assume. I don't remember off the top of my head. I feel, you know, it's kind of small, but it could be, looks kind of like feet and stuff there, so I don't know where that else would come from. A part of the Zord could just be a part of the T-Rex, that's, you know, its head or whatever. But it looks cool. I really like that looking design, you know, with the spikes, if I can fit in the camera here, with this 3 spikes on top of its head and everything. Looks really cool. I like that design. Of course, we have the chest here with the Tyrannosaur head, the T-Rex there, and then the Ptera wrapped around there, how we showed earlier, the Triceratops again as one of the arms. For articulation, obviously you can see there's the shoulder part there, but then it's got the body that moves underneath, so it can like bend out and everything, and then it does flex back and forth, of course, can spin all the way around and everything, so we got a lot, pretty good articulation there. But it's one of the fists and stuff, and they can use, you know, punch, and the mouth opens to hold weapons and stuff, so kind of fits along. Then the other, same with the other side, part of the tail, as I mentioned, from the Tyrannosaur, doesn't move as, or has more movement, like loose in this and stuff, so this part kind of moves around. I like it to stay flat, but can move it. As you can see, it's bending all around. Can move this, the tail part, or the arm, all the way out and everything, completely rotate around, and then it bends forward and stuff. And again, looks, you know, kind of like a sword and everything with the tail design. And then I think it spins around and stuff. So all sorts of cool movements that can go along with there for like weapons and fighting and everything. Does twist a little bit at the waist, but the beak of the Tyrannosaur gets in the way there. But then we have the hip joints again, which have some limitation. There is these loose rubbery parts there that can again allow it to move forward and backwards and out to the side a little bit there. So we do have movements going on there. Knee joint there, as you can see, as it kind of gets stuck because it's got these two little like pegs off the side, so if they get stuck in underneath there like that, then it's stuck, so you just have to readjust it. But they are again loose, so it moves really easily, so that's why when I was standing up here it just like completely fell backwards like that. Then of course the feet, which can spin around completely and adjust and everything, so that way you can get it to pose a little easier. Usually with these Zords they're always kind of sitting crooked like this for some reason, but this one actually looks pretty straight on, which I'm happy about that. And of course with the big feet helps it stand a lot as well too, and it just looks super cool. And I think that's probably going to be it for the Thundersaurus Megazord. Of course, Build-A-Megazord piece there, and all of the Dino Thunder Rangers that we got from this, again, last set from the Bandai release until we move on to Hasbro next year. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, especially if you want to see more Power Ranger stuff. I try and get as much stuff as I can. I have so many Zords I still have to get reviewed that I just don't really haven't had the time to get them all out and everything to be able to do it. So I've got like who knows how many, just a whole bunch of them I still gotta do reviews on and everything. I've only made it up through Zeo, so I still have a lot more to go after that. So I hope you can check more Power Ranger videos out if that's what you enjoy here on the channel. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and any comments you have down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.